Welcome to the D-League podcast. On this episode of 7 Minutes with Sam, I'm going to be talking about how you can take a mistake and extract a lesson from it as soon as you become self-aware. And in 2023, I've made some pretty significant mistakes, but I've extracted lessons from it, and I'm going to share in this episode how you can do the same exact thing. Let's get into it. One of my lessons in 2023 that I've learned from a mistake that I made was setting it and forgetting it. And I'm going to explain what I mean by that. Setting it and forgetting it. We often, in real estate, try to create systems and processes to streamline how we do business, how we can make things simpler. And once you create a system, you own the system, you can refine the system, and you basically leverage that system until it breaks. And it's very easy to set that system up and then forget it and let it do its thing. And you just trust the system because you set it up. And in my life, I try to put many systems in place around my calendar, how I spend time with my family, dating my wife, money, prospecting, so many different things. I try to create a system. I actually create a system. And once I set it, I just forget it. So in 2023, I look up after I've started this process over several years, and I have all these systems in place, but then I haven't really looked at these systems in a very long time. And it gets almost like Groundhog Day, where everything becomes the same, but as life changes, our systems need to improve and change. And if we don't put the time and intention and attention to them, sometimes our systems can become outdated. And one of the systems that I put in place was my prospecting, along with being home at 4:30. So I pride myself in being home every single day to be with my kids because they get home from school. I want to be a present dad because when I was younger, my sister and my mom, they worked so much. My sister used to do hair. My mom used to work, and she would get home before we went to bed. But I decided how can I improve? Yes, I will provide and do whatever it takes to be with my kids. But at the same time, there needs to be an improvement to that system. It's been the same way for about 3.5, almost 4 years now that I've essentially stopped my day at 4:00 and then I sprint home. That leaves so much room for error because life isn't black and white. That's a system that I set up, and it's more like a guideline and boundaries that I need to have in place more than a fixed system. So if I prospect in the morning, and let's say I set a listing appointment, and this just recently happened that made me more aware of it. I set the listing appointment during my prospecting time. I go to the listing appointment, and then from that listing appointment, that client, that particular seller wanted to go have dinner, wanted to go spend more time doing something else, going to play golf. We could have done a million different things, but I did not go because I have this boundary and this system in place. And I tried to set it for a different time. That seller then went out of town. And now I am following up, trying to get that time back. But now our schedules are just mix match. There are times that we should be willing to compromise and do things outside of our system. And systems sometimes need to be broken. And once you fix them, you improve them. And during this time where the schedules were kind of like we just kept missing each other, I also was willing to sacrifice a date with my wife so we can spend time with the kids because I'm causing confusion in the very system, and I'm not spending time with the people that I'm supposed to be spending with, and I'm not getting the business that I wanted to get, and the boundary that I put in place, the system that I put in place for that exact time and prospecting and all this stuff, none of it's working. So when you create a system, stick to it, but find the loopholes, find the gaps, find the problems and the challenges with those systems, but then also give yourself grace. Give yourself grace to work with those systems, especially when it comes to your family, when it comes to your spouse or your children, if you have children. And maybe it could be a sibling, a family member, your mom, your dad, somebody that you care about deeply, and you say, I'm going to allocate X amount of time to spend with them. And although your business may sometimes take precedence, and you have to sometimes bend. Don't break, but bend. And there were times that I missed dates. There were times that I did not prospect when I said I was going to prospect. There were times that I didn't get home at 4:30 because I'm not perfect. However, when you set it and forget it, you leave so much room for error. So you have to constantly look at how you can improve your systems, how you can benefit, how the people that support you can help support you so that we all can benefit from the system that you have in place. And you may just be getting started in business. You may not have ever created a system around anything that you do. So the lesson is, one, make sure you have a system, but 2, always try to improve your system. And it gives you more freedom once you have the discipline of having some type of structure in your life. 2023 has taught me that I will 100% revisit my systems and put a system in place to revisit my systems. So whether it's quarterly, monthly, weekly, whatever you find the rhythm of revisiting your systems to be, stick to it and don't let life slip away. What you do for a living is not as important as what you do while you're living. I hope this episode has helped you. If there's anybody that you can share it with, that you can connect to help you create a system and support you in building systems around your life so that you can have the freedom that you desire, feel free to share it with them. Again, my name is Sam Coleman. Thank you so much for spending 7 minutes with Sam, and I'll see you guys on the next episode.